really felt like they were controlling the momentum from a pretty early stage. And I guess if you're EG, Don't Fix the Night broke their first 2 bans. One of them is different. They actually had Gyro last game, of course. Fear played that. But this time, they're still going to take out the Rubik. They say, we don't want to give that to FY. FY, God, please have mercy. And I'm looking to see, hopefully, Vici come to game number 2 with a little bit more stable of a draft.
Yeah, I mean, we look back and we look at the fact that How on the anti-mage was still absolutely ridiculous. You know, the ridiculous amount of fun. It's just at the end of the day, the fights didn't go the way of VG, and EG were just coming out on top. A lot of it I've got to see down to Sumail's performance on the Storm Spirit, which was pretty damn incredible. Every time he knew who to jump on, and he'd do it. Even I'd imagine before he was telling the team he was going in. By the time they realized he was in, he was already killing off 2 of the supports of Vici Gaming. And then EG were there with the cleanup. Of course, great support play, of course, from both PPD and Universe as well on the Undying, keeping Fear alive in those fights. It was fantastic all round for the side. But let's see if Vici can bring it back here in game 2. The pick so far, EG grabbed themselves quad with that first pick. Vici, they're going to respond with the Tusk and the Bounty Hunter for themselves this time. We obviously saw Universe playing it here for EG in the first game.
Now, Universe played Undying.
Oh, who played?
Bounty Hunter was played by Aoi.
Aoi 2000. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Aoi 2000. But yeah, EG had Bounty first time. This time it's going to be VG.
Yeah, I think taking the Bounty away from EG is smart because EG are very good at picking kind of like these in and out styles of lineups where you have a high mobility, you can get a track kill here and there, and then you can just retreat. Like, you don't actually lose anything for it. And there were multiple times that game where EG get out of a really tough situation. Like, you think of that team fight bottom, Sumail gets initiated on by Storm. PPD, he's there to back him up with the immediate Winter's Curse before he gets Walrus punched, and then all of a sudden Sumail walks away with a regen, and they clean up the team, and it's nothing but mass track kills. So I think taking that away from EG is a definite step in the right direction to ensure that you're going to have another game plan other than, oh, How just needs to continually farm everything.
Oh, well, second pick now for EG. They're going to go in with that Spirit Breaker. Of course, someone who's able to bring the action. And especially good against heroes like the Bounty Hunter. Also Tusk as well. In this sense, so far, Vici are going to have to think about what they can do to stop this charge coming in on their key heroes.
Remaining.
Yeah, they have some stuff to do with it already. Like, we've seen some shurikens to interrupt charges before. You have Tusk. He has really only one reliable way. It's pretty difficult to, like, punch him, because I'm pretty sure even if you blink in, you just get hit by the charge before you can punch. So you can snowball to stop it. Obviously, Evil Geniuses, they're setting things up like they want to pick another Storm. I mean, that's the kind of the similar bans that we saw in game 1. Again, Gyro's the only thing that's a little bit different, but already having Queen, there is flexibility in that hero. Like, it doesn't have to be mid. It's just more like strong laner, good transition into mid-late game, just overall really solid pick. Whereas Storm is something that you kind of have to build your lineup for before you can start saying, okay, now it's actually time for us to pick it.
Absolutely. Third ban from EG. They take away the Disruptor. Again, another one of those very strong supports that we're talking about Vici Gaming being very, very capable with. Talking about supports and capability, Vici, they say, we don't want any more of that PPD Wyvern. We saw how strong it was in the laning stage, straight up to the late game. PPD with the players, keeping Fear alive in a numerous amount of situations.
Even as far back as the laning phase. Like, we saw I think it was Lion. No, it was Lina and Tusk to the lane bottom. And they continually tried to kill Fear, but they just didn't have the damage output for it, which is one of the big issues that they had in their draft in the first go, is that they couldn't actually all in and kill somebody unless they had a third hero in the vicinity. And when you have to commit that many people just to kill one person, and you're just in the laning phase, it already kind of says, like, okay, maybe our draft isn't really so good at this stage. And of course, they had some good fights later, but of course, EG took that game. But now, looking at the second ban phase still, Winter Wyvern has already proven to be a massive Tusk counter. I think Ice 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 punched Cold Embrace like 2 or 3 times that game as well. And then you end up just dealing no real damage, and you can see the Lina ban out coming here from Vici.
Understandably so as well. We obviously saw that Tusk Lina lane in the first game for Vici Gaming. And the fact that Vici had banned out that Wyvern, the hero that was messing with that duo, maybe indicated that Vici were thinking about going for it again. Obviously, they do have a Bounty Hunter, so it might have been a little bit of a squeeze to fit that hero into the lineup as well. But nonetheless, EG don't want to take their chances. Lina, of course, a hero, very versatile, can put her in a numerous amount of situations in the laning stage. Ban out from Vici Gaming. They're going to take away the Undying as well. So, of course, another hero that EG played very nicely. Universe, of course, on that hero in the first game. Had an insane amount of farm at the beginning. I remember looking at the CS was right up there with that of Supers on the Leshrac. So some impressive stuff from the Universe Undying. Not going to happen this time, though. Vici Gaming, they will follow this up, though, with the Dazzle. And now they've got the Dazzle Tusk, which we've seen time and time again, teams stopping teams from getting.
This combination is very potent. You get a good snowball, you get the ice shards going, you get that shadow wave to follow it up. You can combine that with like even a shuriken or whatever hero you're going to be putting in your safe lane or mid. And that kill combination is very, very good at every stage. Not only that, but Dazzle's a good hero to sit in the back when you're playing against something like Spirit Breaker, because most players will go 0-4-4, as in 4 points in a grave, 4 points in a heal. That means you can sit so far away. You don't ever have to really put yourself in trouble, and you can just say, okay, well, if they jump on somebody, I'm just going to grave them. Then the Spirit Breaker combo suddenly becomes a bit nullified, and maybe you can look to turn the fight from there. Outside of that, he's still a very good laner. Good damage. Shadow Wave is great for controlling lanes, just being able to harass and such. And since they took out Winter Wyvern themselves, they're not going to be able to get their hands on that, of course. And now, Enchantress coming out.
I like it. We've seen Enchantress really come up once today. Secret. They did play it earlier. EG, now they're going to take their hand with the hero and drop it into the game. And we'll see what they're able to achieve with this, obviously. Already having what we're going to expect, almost certainly to be a jungler. Jungle Enchantress here in this game. It's going to weaken their lanes to some extent. So Vici Gaming might be able to think about this. And of course, Vici Gaming do already have that Bounty Hunter who may try and disrupt the Enchantress in the earlier stages of the game in the jungle.
Yeah, that's one thing that I thought of too when I first saw the pick is Bounty Hunter against jungle heroes typically is just a huge nuisance. He follows you around. Like if you're trying to control a lane, he just comes out from invis and hits you with an Orb of Venom. And Enchantress has really bad strength gain. So until you get to a couple of levels and start getting untouchable, you just get harassed, and he just follows you and soaks the XP. So I'm curious as what EG's game plan is going to be with this hero. If they want to just get like one creep and try to help them win mid, or if they want to get one creep and help them win the safe lane. It really does depend at this point what PPD is going to want to try to do with it. But for Vici Gaming, they still need their mid. They still need a carry. I mean, I'm looking at things like Juggernaut, I still think is okay. Okay, so that's their mid.
Okay, I mean, picking up the DK, understandable, of course, with heroes like the Dazzle. You're going to have that very good kind of group up and push. At the same time, though, EG, they're going to snag themselves the Razor, a hero that we have seen actually being banned out against them a few times. EG have played it as well, so the Razor being thrown into the mix of this. And if that is going to be potentially put in the mid lane against the DK, it's going to do fairly well. Of course, they might opt for the Quap in the mid lane. Depends where they want to put these heroes. There's a lot of option for EG to kind of switch this one around. I mean, does anything kind of strike out to you as this is their plan as of yet?
I feel like Razor's probably just going to be mid. I mean, you could put Queen or Razor against it. Doesn't really matter. I just think typically against melee heroes, Razor dominates. Like, that's pretty much his job. And then you can look to put like your SB and your Queen in offlane. And if that's the case, then you already have an Enchantress in jungle. You have a 1v1 matchup that should win. And then you could also look to put another self-sufficient safe laner in the top lane.
I'm trying to think now. Final pick here for the side of Vici Gaming when it comes round. They do still need what we're going to expect to be that position 1 hero for the team. Now, they've got a fair few options. They do, well, they have actually played, for instance, the Bristleback. Of course, Vici won quite a few times, and that would work with the DK and the Dazzle. Do you think that might be something that they're thinking about here? Not great against the Razor, though, I guess.
There's a lot of kite potential on EG, and you don't have a Wisp to partner with it. Like, normally when you see Bristle, you want that overcharge, you want the extra damage mitigation, so when you turn your back, you're taking, like, no DPS whatsoever. I guess it is possible, but like I said, it's typically the Wisp combination that you're going to be seeing with that hero, but we'll see how EG are feeling about this last carry pick.
What about the How PL?
Reserve time.
PL is actually very good against this team. It's very good. They have very limited use of AoE, so like they have Plasma Field. I guess you can charge, and then you have Queen of Pain. So those are the only ways that they can deal with that. The one scary part, though, about picking PL is you already have Bounty Hunter Dazzle. It's okay support combination, but it's not super strong. It's similar to what we saw in the first game where they had Lion and Lina and they were split up and they just really couldn't do much. I feel like it might kind of be the same thing 2 times in a row where the supports just wouldn't be able to deal with that kind of offline potential if they picked a hero like that. But we will find out.
I mean, of course, the other thing to question as well, what about picking up the AM again in this kind of game, or is that not going to be too nice against these ganking heroes like the Quap and the Spirit Breaker? And the Enchantress, to be fair, as well.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm kind of feeling AM or PL. I'd like to see how throw something else different into the mix.
I think PL would probably be better than AM. AM is one of those heroes that you can just get hard lane countered. Like, what happens if they just send, like, Spirit Breaker down there with, like, +1? Like, maybe Razor even goes down there. Or maybe they just do some kind of aggro lane. Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
10
AM is
seconds remaining.
really bad in lane against that type of lineup.
Okay, but it is going to be the
safe lane
SF.
SF, okay.
Genius's turn to pick.
Okay, well, yeah, I'd imagine just that you think they're definitely going to put the SF in the safe rather than the DK. And it's going to be the PPD tree coming out finally from the side is of EG. So yeah, we assume Malquop and safe lane Razor.
This is Universe Enchantress?
You'd imagine, well, Howie to normally be on the hero.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Well, we're going to see what Universe can do.
Wait. Is this Slasher's Way?
What with the
Is this off-lane, untouchable max stats Enchantress?
It could very well be an Enchantress Spirit Breaker lane looking at the lineup so far. Maybe.
I don't want
Do you think?
I don't want to say it is because it would actually be amazing if they did that. But that's like the first thing that popped into my mind when I see the offlaner pick up the jungle hero. They could just swap. I mean, let's be honest.
They could.
Yeah.
We could see.
They could just be having...
It might be the mind games.
What's a British saying? They could be having a laugh, right?
Yeah.
Just messing with us.
That could be.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a
10
Josh.
seconds remaining.
We'll see. Well,
A bit of a Josh.
Bit of a Josh, you know.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, I'm joshing with you.
5
Having a
seconds
laugh,
remaining.
having a giggle. Well, here we go. Into game 2 between VG Gaming and Evil Geniuses. We've got some, again, some fun picks coming out from both sides.
Oh my god, is he really going to do it?
It's going to be the
Prepare for
Universe
battle.
Enchantress. Well, let's see how this goes down for EG. Big shout out to everyone joining us from the mainstream. Big hey guys to everybody watching on the stream. I hope you're ready to get yourselves tucked in for game 2, because if game 1 is anything to go by, we may be in for the long haul again between these two giants of a teams.
I'm looking forward to this. This is definitely the most exciting series, at least in game 1, that I've had a chance to cast so far here at TI5. So, like you mentioned, if game 1 is any indication, this is going to be an absolute blast. And we'll see what the Universe is going to be doing here. He's kind of wandering around for the time being, probably just securing a rune. The thing about Enchantress is you don't really have to buy any mana regeneration because Enchant is such a low mana cost. Like, the thing that actually costs a lot of mana is your heal, and you can still cast that, I believe, 1 or 2 times before you're going to have to worry about sending yourself out of clarity. But EG grouping up here around bottom rune. That SF pick. It's not very often we get a chance to see safe lane SF.
It's going to be interesting to see how this does indeed pan out for How. Both teams eyeing up this bottom rune at the moment. EG ready to jump, but at the same time, so are VG. Nice and Super heading back to their respective lanes, though. Looks like it's just going to be the 3 there. FY might look for the sneak steal. It's going to be a risky one, though, and is he going to head down for it? They've got the sentry on the SB, and they're going to pop it down straight away, so they know where FY is. FY's not going to risk it. Sumail will be able to grab himself the bottom rune, and likewise Super on the mid DK, grabbing himself the top bounty rune. Now the lanes coming out from VG, pretty much what we expected. We are going to see this, well, the safe lane dual lane, at least with the roaming bounty hunter, DK in the mid, Tusk on the off lane. And EG, they're going to, well, it's going to be interesting to see where the PPD Treant kind of hangs about. Does he need to be up there on the top lane with Fear on the Razor, or can he afford to just go on the aggressive tri lane and Fear can manage on his own against the solo Tusk?
Oh, there's no way Razor needs help against Tusk. Not even close. Like, Razor will be more than fine. And I think a lot of the reason why they pick Tree is because they're so confident in this off lane doing well that they could just use all of their Treant armors on mid and just have PPD chill around here. And I'm sorry, but DK and Bounty is not beating Tree Queen. Like, that is a really lopsided matchup in favor of EG.
Well, we'll see what the side of VG are able to do with it. They've already popped down a sentry themselves. No D-ward there yet from EG on that mid lane. But I think the lane we're all going to be interested in is, of course, that bottom, the Universe Enchantress. Seeing how they do. FY already. And I guess this is the trick. You pick up an Enchantress, and we were saying, into a Bounty Hunter, the jungling's not going to be fun. Well, screw the jungle. I'll take a lane instead.
Yeah, that's why it seems so bizarre at first, right? Because that's the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, well, you're actually just going to get owned in the jungle. But if you get level 1 Untouchable, it's 40% attack speed reduction. He already has Wand available. And this is a lane that will spam. Like, you're going to have Razes, you're going to have Shadow Wave on top of that. If he gets like a tree armor, even Razes won't be enough to kill him, and that's another reason why the tree pick is so nice. Because typically, what's the best way to kill Enchantress? Magic Burst. She's tied for the lowest strength gain in the game, or just flat out the lowest. So if you have tree armor on her, and she eats like 1 or 2 Razes, if that burst isn't enough to kill, a right click will never kill Enchantress because it's probably not even going to go off.
Exactly. I think just for the duration of the game, you look at VG's lineup, they've got a lot of punches. And as you said, Untouchable is going to be very, very nice for Universe to have against all of that at the moment. In terms of CS so far, mid lane we are seeing some Altar starting to break away. 9 for 2, 10 for 2 against the 6 for 1. PPD able to grab himself that bounty rune from the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunt has been unsuccessful this time. 2 minutes in, bottom lane, the farm for Hal. He's on 9 for 3 at the moment compared to 7 for 5 of Fear. So still pretty even from the bottom to the top of the map, but just that slight edge in the mid lane going towards going towards EG.
It's to be expected that Queen would win that matchup, though. Like, there's no doubt in anyone's mind that Queen versus DK definitely going to be Queen with the advantage there. But the main thing about Tusk in his top lane, too, is Ice really only needs the EXP. Like, getting the farm is nice, but if he can TP and react and get a couple of kills on bottom lane, like he might try to go for Enchantress, a good snowball, Ice Shards, a couple of raises.
He's going to go in with the charge onto Femra. Look at the body block as well. He's trying to get in with the right clicks. Femra forced here to use the shallow grave. EG Universe trying to chase down, looking for that final right click after. It wouldn't have been enough anywhere. The heal was available. How? Trying to turn this one around with the punches. Bring Universe low. Oh, there's your bash from Owie, forcing the Shadow Fiend back.
There's no grave. They can go back in, I think. Okay, never mind. How got selfed. Just kidding.
Mid lane, what's going on? Well, we're going to see eyeing up at the moment FY, looking for Sumail. Again, just forcing the blink back, trying to create a bit of space for DK to bring himself back into his element in the mid lane. And he's certainly closing on it. It's, 11 for free at the moment on Super. And still Sumail with that slight edge in bottom lane. Sorry, top lane.
Yeah.
Fear. He finds himself a solo kill. Well, gotta be honest, didn't necessarily expect that, and neither did Scriff, bless him.
Yeah, now bottom as well.
Bottom lane, that's where the action is, and we're on this one. That's going to be one kill there. Now looking for Hal with the charge. They might, I think, let's dive this now.
He can charge again. He's got enough one charges. He can pop it and charge. Okay, never mind.
Not going to be the play now. Yeah, just salving out, keeping it safe. Mid lane again, just forcing Sumail back, but 2-0 at the moment. EG getting themselves first blood, and very nice, of course, the fact that Fear was able to get that solo kill first blood in the top lane and bottom lane. There's your charge. They're going in for Hal. Hal's in a bit of trouble trying to turn it around. He's got Fenrir coming in, but he's not in time. The bash from Owie, bringing down the Shadow Fiend. And Fenrir just left to give him a few punches on the way out. So far, the first 4 minutes of the game looking very good for Evil Geniuses.
The one thing, though, to keep in mind is Hao is still getting, like, comparable farm. Like, yeah, he died there, but SF is very well known for being able to recover, even from a not-so-great laning phase. The real problem is going to arise when Universe finally hits level 6. Then you're going to start looking at impetus damage. And his movement speed is nuts. 385 with brown boots. You're just going to be getting run down. I think that's really a strategy between these two heroes is because of the fact that Owie will eventually get that empowering haste with Enchantress and being able to charge and hold somebody down for so long. Like, how do you live through that if Enchantress is just laying into you the entire time? Even with just like 1 or 2 lucky bashes, you can just get a kill.
Indeed, Universe finding a lot of space here on that bottom lane to start pressuring this tower. TP's coming in from the Bounty Hunter. FY leading the way, but it's going to be quite hard to get this kill.
This is a really hard kill, actually.
They can try for it. 2 levels untouchable. What's it going to do for Universe? We might just find out here. Fenrir looking for the wraparound, but Universe, he's going to start backing up already, and FY is unable to initiate anything there on the bottom lane. In fact, Owie's making his way back down there as well to ensure that Universe isn't left on his own. Universe might need help. The wraparounds coming in. FY and Ephemeria moving in as a combo. There's your slow, but there's the charge. Owie coming in. He wants to save Universe. He might just be able to do it. The PPD tree armor as well coming out. Universe is going to be okay. Now, are you thinking about trying to turn this around? FY there. He's fine with the Shadow Walk. No detection at the moment being dropped down. FY gets himself away. Now he just heading himself back away from the lane, seeing if he can disrupt the map anywhere else. And still, the farm for Fear looking very nice indeed. 26 last hits, 12 denies on this Razor. Fear's having a grand old time in the safe lane.
Yeah, again, though, this is something that should have happened. The one weird part about it is that Ice solo died. Like, that probably shouldn't ever happen. I'm actually unsure as to how that went down, because I was actually watching bottom when they initiated, but still, in the early game, with the kill advantage is EG. It's not super lopsided though. Middle,
straight in. They're going to go for it. They got the damage before to make a blink away, and maybe, the tick damage is going to be enough.
Damage.
One more tick. No, he's got the stick charge and the 1 charges. He's going to be fine. Owie's there with a charge as well to make sure that VG don't dive any deeper. And still, VG just unable to find Bloodjet in this fight.
That was so close. I'm pretty sure PPD like armored the tower as that was happening. Maybe he map clicked or something instead of actually clicking on Sumail, but that was very close to being a kill. And unfortunately for Vici, as you mentioned, they have yet to really get themselves on the board. Universe, he's almost halfway to level 6. These two heroes together still don't feel like they can pressure him.
Universe off lane on this Enchantress is doing absolute wonders. He's managed to find himself 16 CS as well, not too shabby. Now on 28 for 12 though, as you were saying early, still the farm going fairly well here for this Shadow Fiend. But we'll see what he's able to do with it. Universe moving in the shadows. Sumail fighting about, has got this ultimate available. They might jump for it and straight away onto Hal. He's holding the ult here though, and actually turning around with the razors. Sumail, he's going to go down here. Hal taking the kill, and Sumail just slightly overextending there, and VG there to capitalize.
I'm not really sure why he blinked that far. Like normally when you blink into a tower like that, you blink at the edge. because you still have range to be able to scream and dagger, and then you throw out the ulti and walk away. He blinked point blank into who he had vision of, with a Dazzle sitting next to him. Like, sure, Fenrir is in fog, but you kind of have to assume he's there, right? So that was just really weird. I'm not sure. Like, he had to have expected Fenrir to not be there. Like, that's the only way you make that blink.
Unfortunate play there for Sumail. Back to the mid lane. He goes to continue his farm. Well, in fact, he left the lane. Super very happy with that. Up to 34 CS. Second on the board now for the DK. And also back up now. FY's in the mid lane. And so's Ice. He's low on mana, but he has got that mango. Can they do anything about Sumail? Sumail being very tentative about moving forward here. Ooh.
Well, something happened. Hopefully, I think EG said that Fear's PC was kind of laggy or something before.
Hopefully no more headsets are being dropped.
Yeah.
That's, I'm just going to have this pause here. Now the question, the mid lane is where it's about to kick off. We have got the wraparound. Has he used the mango yet, the Tusk? Has he still got the mango waiting? And he's got the mango available. And Sumail is going to be able to blink away there. Going to find the kill here. But still, just forcing Sumail back out of the lane. He's going to find himself a haste, and of course does still have that ultimate ready to use if he can find himself in a good position to do so. Now he's going to walk into FY here, and he has got dust here. Sumail is about, and they're going to go for it here with the charge on FY. Sumail moving in with the haste rune with the burst, and there we go! Screaming down the lug holes of the bounty hunter, and will be able to find himself the kill.
I'm not sure if he needed ult there. I'm pretty sure he was dead. The dust was already 20%, and then you dagger on top of that with a scream. Like, a couple auto attacks I think would have done the job, but...
Better to be safe than sorry, Andy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is good to be able to get the kill and immediately run away. But now EG pulling themselves a little bit farther ahead in terms of the kills, at least.
Oh.
And yeah, that damage.
I mean, a couple of those.
If he gets charged, he could die. Like, even though Aui's not 6, he's still tanky enough to go onto the tower and try to bait something out, I think.
Now he's just waiting in position. Seeing if Hal comes out, but Hal does have that backup of Fenrir, keeping himself safely behind the trees, ready with those heals and the shallow grave, if need be.
The other thing too is they have a level 3 tree armor now, so if they want to dive, they can actually just go ham.
And PPD's been able to find himself a fair bit of XP up here in the top lane, halfway through level 5 on his way to the 6. Fear though at the moment. Leveling. Nice. How's Tusk doing in terms of levels and response? He's vanished from level 6, but still certainly falling behind in comparison to Fear, who is top of the net worth board at the moment. Aui Universe really want to find something, and how close are we to level 6 on this Spirit Breakers? I feel that's going to be the go time here. When they can get the Nether Strike and get the impetus hits in, they'll certainly be able to have a good shot at blowing up Hal.
Well, if they have Nether Strike, they probably just go for Fenrir. Like, if he shows, he gets charged out, you want to prevent him from graving, because if Fenrir dies and Hal's still in the area, if the tree armor goes out onto, like, Aui, for example, because he'll be the one most likely tanking the majority of the damage, you can just continue to chase. Charge will most likely be back up by the time the first hero dies, so probably going to be looking to try that. Nope, middle lane. Can see a charge here on the FY. There is dust.
Well, let's see if Sumail can get himself in with a blink. He should be able to help find this kill onto FY. There's your dust. There's the punches. And they will kill the bounty hunter. How actually coming in here with a TP reaction. Aui's just simply going to TP himself back to base. And Sumail, of course, he's well and truly out of there. And yet another pick off here for EG, and VG unable to punish it in return.
I really like the tree pick here from EG for the sole purpose that it's their direct answer to the bounty hunter roaming in the early game. So anytime somebody takes any damage, it's like, oh, the bounty hunter's here. I'll just go ahead and tree armor somebody. Or I'll throw it on the enchantress who's in bottom lane who's trying to harass. It's such a low-cost answer to bounty hunter roam that up until this point, like really, FY hasn't really been able to do a lot. Like, he's 0-2-0. He hasn't gotten a single kill for his team. He's been gathering a decent amount of information, sure, but the information doesn't do you any good when you can't do anything about it.
Well, the side of Vici there. They're going to go for smoke up. They're actually going to find Aui here. And they're going to initiate here with a snowball. They're going to try and go for this one. Aui has got Universe around. Can he do anything to save him though? Aui's going to go low. Aui does get the charge, and the armor indeed helping him out here. The poison touch might do it. No, he's got the 1 charges. And now, with the nature's attendance, Aui's going to be able to live through that one, get himself out. Now, Sumail coming in with the rotation does have the ultimate available. If Universe might try and turn this one round, does move forward, but Ice and Super are well and truly out of there. But that is indeed a smoke up from VG that doesn't achieve much at all. And the same, look how aggressive Fear's getting here on this top lane. Straight through, clearing the wave and bringing FY incredibly low. We are going to see how actually make his way up here on the Shadow Fiend. PPD hiding under the cover of the trees, and Fear just continuing to hammer away at this tower. Back towards the mid lane, Super moving in, looking for a stun, but somehow blinks himself away. Will find this rune. What's he got? He's got an invis rune, and he has still got that ultimate available. Sumail might be able to find something with this.
Yeah, I think at this point, right now, Vici's game plan, they really need to try to stabilize a bit. Like, Hao gets his Yules up, and then they can start maybe looking to try to turn fights, because that's a good enough amount of burst to be able to just, like, maybe even kill Universe. But I said that, he's almost got back.
Mid lane, they're going to go in, and Sumail can't get the cast animation off here for the blink and the punch there. Damn! That's the Sumail down. That's Super picking himself up the kill. And what a kill indeed for the side of Vici, taking down the Quap. One of the definitely high priority heroes on the map at the moment for the side of Vici.
Dire's middle tower
Definitely a nice kill.
Attack.
They want to try to get more out of this. They're going to get some information here. FY, just scouting things out. I think he saw the courier? No.
Oh.
No, it's too fast.
Oh, he's there, yes. Gonna go back to the jungle. The ward that they've just dropped there did show Fear. Can they do anything about it? They have got 3 heroes in the vicinity, but Fear managed to get the static link off. They're trying to snowball away. Get the hell off me! But it's not long enough. Fear continues to steal the damage, and now that continues to chase. The length on that leash is incredible. The ult from the low ground, blowing up Ice. Sumail gets his revenge, and EG picked themselves up the 6th kill of this game. 6 for 2 at the moment. Now, FY, he is closing in on that level 6, and with the track, that's where we're going to see the bounty hunter really come into play. But at the moment, it certainly is EG with the lead. You're looking at the hero levels. Fear hitting level 11. The closest at the moment, DK on level 9. Fear, he's had a great old time on the top lane, and we've seen him already now moving away from that lane and ready to try and exert his dominance elsewhere on the map.
I mean, this is a pretty action-packed early game, honestly. Like, not a lot of kills, but a lot of movement from both teams. They really want to try to vie for that early control. That we are going to see the first tower of the entire game actually drop in favor of EG. Going to see a charge towards mid, but I think this is more of just like a, I want to move across the map, because Yules is done on Hao. A level 1 Requiem is not enough to kill, so Aoi will go ahead and just back off instead. Level 2 Requiem, I think, can kill with like, I don't know, 900,000 HP or something, if you land it perfectly. But level 1 Requiem just doesn't do as much damage.
They want to snowball onto Sumail, but oh, they get Illusion instead. Ice, just a little bit off point there with that cast. And now, actually, well, Fear and Sumail, they've found FY. He's underneath the sentry. They're going to go for this one, keeping him under the sentry vision. Can they quite do it? There we go! With the plasma field, they bring it down. Now Super getting charged up. Aoi's there with the nether strike. Super does get Shadow Red up. He's going to be able to live for the time being. What can he do in return? Pokes the ult as well, trying to get himself away. Ice is there to try and help, but they've already lost Super. Ice is surrounded by 4 members of EG. What can he do in response? Looks for the TP. That was a bit of a hopeful one. It's not going to pay off. 3 heroes falling on the side of Fiji, and EG cleaning up there in the Radiant jungle.
Oh man, they are just getting wrecked. I mean, it's 2-9 right now.